Meet Kairix Single, a companion replay tool for OBS, vMix, Streamlabs, and other live production software. Its core strength is live, dynamic, slow motion on loaded clips. Mark a cue, replay instantly, and loop the action with precision. You can even replay from a live transport stream, rewinding the action as it happens. Kairix Single, available for download at GitHub now. And that was Kairix. This is my replay software that I've been working on. I've been looking around for an application like this for hopefully free, but I've not been able to find it. So I went out and made it myself. It's not perfect, but it's actually working out a lot better than I thought. So this is the basic interface. Now we can add a folder here. I'll choose the folder used in the demonstration video. I'll click onto the first file here and it is loaded up. So you'll see each of the files that was in that folder will load here. They already have in and out queues because I made them for demo purposes, but if I want to get rid of all of these queues, I can either click on a queue here, which will ignore it. If we make this a little bigger, you can see ignored. But if I want to get rid of all of the queues from all of the files all at once, rather than just ignore it or toggle ignoring all of them, I can just go into the settings, queues, purge queues. Yes, okay, thanks. Great. So now none of these files have a queue on them, and if I hit play from the start, you can see here it's right from the beginning. Now I can click set in point here. I'll turn loop on, and then I can go out point. And there we go. So now this file has got an in queue at 5 seconds, an out queue at 10 seconds. Total duration of the clip is 19 seconds. I still have work to do on this queue system, but that's to be expected. You can slow it down with this slider bar at the bottom here, and of course we can click into the next clip and begin that playing. Setting an in queue here, let it play out a little, and set an out queue there. Now this one is shot in 100 frames per second, so its slow motion is far superior to a 50 frames per second clip. Clicking into this next one, we'll go in there, and I won't set an out point because that's about where it needs to end anyway. And you can see I can slow it right down as I come around the corner here and speed it back up. Now I'll pause it there. Let's get rid of these other clips. So I can remove selected, remove that one, and let's remove this first one because it's a slow frame rate anyway. And now I can go into this playlist tab here and change the loop meaning to mean the whole playlist rather than just a single clip. So if I click this clip, I click autoplay and I go play from queue, it's going to play the in and out point from these two clips, and it's just going to keep doing this while we're working on it. Now if I slow it down to 50% or wherever and leave it, you'll see the playback speed stays at 50%. Well, I can go into settings and I can choose reset speed to 100%, which makes this go red to indicate that it is in that mode, and once we hit the end of the clip it'll reset back to 100%, playing it out at full speed. And that will happen every time I try and slow it down at the end of a clip. It will speed back up, so then I can slow it down again and it'll speed back up, slow it down again, and at the end of the clip it will speed back up. I've found this to be quite useful, and I wish this was a setting on some of the more expensive paid-for software I've worked on in the past. Let's just pause that so it's not a distraction. Now, as you can see here, we've got a few options here, but I'm not going to go over everything. I feel like most things are well labeled, as you can see. Same with this, you can monitor a selected folder so that if new clips are constantly being added to that folder, you can have it automatically add those clips. Along with coming in here and remove missing files, I am thinking of just adding that into here under a similar thing with this, where you can set the polling interval of that. You can also manually specify your own shortcuts. Pretty much every button you see, you can set as a shortcut key. In terms of getting this software into OBS, it does have this NDI button here, which currently does nothing. I haven't implemented NDI yet, so unfortunately that is not an option. But you can come into here and still just use window capture. You can select Kairix Single. Now it'll show up blank if you leave it in automatic. You need to set the capture method to Windows 10 so that it will actually render out that window. Same with if you're capturing other media player options. And then you can just crop it in, holding Alt and clicking these little squares here, and drag it up to be the size that you want. Oh, don't forget about these sides here. But I do have plans on making this process a little more streamlined. But now we've got that working here, where the clip is available in OBS, even if it isn't the forefront clip on the screen. Using this YouTube video of some cars drifting, I'll demonstrate how we can get whatever's output from OBS into Kairix. You'll go into your settings and you'll want to set your output settings under recording, and the recording format will be a .ts file. It's this one at the bottom, mpeg-ts.ts. That is a more live file type which will allow us to use it in Kairix. Then you can hit start recording. Now before you chuck the file into Kairix, you'll want to go into your settings and tell it that you've got a live clip for live clip mode. This just means that it is going to periodically update the clip information. You can adjust how frequently it does that. Click OK, and now you can go into your folder where it's saved, drag and drop it into here, and you'll see that the clip duration is slowly updating as each second passes by. You can hit play and bring it to basically live. This is only a second or two after what's actually happening, but you've still got full control over the slow motion here, right down to as low as you want, or leaving it back at full speed. Is that you can adjust when the audio is muted through slow-mo. The default threshold is at 0.7 or 70%, so that you don't get any weird slow-mo sound effects from when you're slowing down the clip itself. I currently have a page for Kairix here on my website. You can see we've got this screenshot here talking about the easy drag and drop clips into the playlist menu, customize your shortcuts, and then a couple other screenshots, as well as this GIF image here showing a little demo, and then we've got the links at the bottom of the page. This link, of course, takes you over to the Kairix GitHub page, where we have a little bit of info there, again some other information about it, as well as the source code here, so you can see the few thousand lines of code which actually allow this system to work. I'm piggybacking off of MPV, which is all included when you go into the releases here. You can go back to the older 9.6, or you can come to this latest 9.7 alpha. It is simply a zip file that you download once it has finished downloading. Now, I do recommend unzipping it and chucking that folder somewhere. I keep it in the root directory on my C drive, but your desktop can work just as fine as well. Double click to open it, run anyway. All the code and stuff is here on my GitHub page. Here it is loaded, and it also does save your settings. So if I go in here, adjust those settings, hit OK, you'll see here in the folder with it is a little settings.json. So that's saving all of those individual settings you've set there. As for the video clips, it also gets a little JSON here, which is simply just indicating the in and out point that you have set in the clip itself. At this point, we are going via time, though I do hope to be using frames rather than seconds, but we will see how future versions interact with that. Let's say you've got all these clips that have been loaded in, but you want to close down this project and move on, and you don't want these ugly JSON files to stick around. You just go into your settings, queues, purge the clips. Yep, okay, done. And look, they're all gone. But alternatively, of course, you can leave those queues in there, allowing the next user to use those queues. I don't have multi-queues set up yet, but it is an idea for the future. Thank you for viewing my project. I have some links here to the website, to the Discord, where you can open that up to discuss and talk to me about what problems or features you would like in the app. And of course, if you're feeling rather generous, there is a Buy Me a Coffee link